We're going to have a closer look at the 1200 GS, and this is a bike that we have been using now for a ride. We were borrowing it from Touratech, so it's kind of spec'd out Touratech bike. It has all kind of cool things. Some things you might not think is necessary, other things that you're just drooling to get. Immediately would say, see, this is a fog light. It's a xenon light that shoots a lot of light long way. You have the protector for the windscreen here. You have the special nose that you would have seen on the Adventure that came later. This fairing is special on this bike. It's called a Desierto 3. Touratech have had different generations for different GSs. So the 1200 GS they call Desierto 3. It's a different fairing. Many people like it just because how it cuts the wind, how it looks. You can also see the hand protectors are a little beefed up compared to what you get with the bike, especially on the Adventure. Many people change to these ones because of that. Let's see, what else do we have? They have a different brake pedal. So what happens here, they can swivel backwards if you hit something. The little plate here protects the line for the rear brake. It's a little beauty protector here so you don't scrape up your frame. You sit there and rub all the time and you get loose all the paint and it will eventually start rusting. What I really like on this though is this protector here. Not only the crash bar, which is a fantastic solid crash bar, I think even it's better than the one that come on the 1200 Adventure because it goes all the way around. I've seen several times when we are out riding, people go down. Latest was on our last Africa tour, pinched a hole and ruined the valve cover. This is really a nice improvement. I like that. Another thing here, this kind of beauty stuff, I don't know how necessary it is, but it's for protecting against touching the hot pipe that's here with your boots or whatever. I'm not really sure. Moving on, this part here, plastic, again, that protects and kind of hide away your brake reservoir, and to see it you have to go in from the side here. That's fine. And here is the adjuster for the shock absorber. Of other things, as you see, these are the Sega bags. They are Touratech bags that very sturdy. They are proven over and over again to be very good bags, and one of the reasons is, in my opinion, is that they use one sheet of metal, go all the way, and they don't have any welding in the corners, but the welding is in the back. They are nice the way the seam is here, the seal is an O-ring going around. It's a very solid base. And it's not if you go down, it's when you go down. Yeah, they will break, they will be damaged, but they are pretty darn easy to fix, to hammer out a little silicone, a little patching, and you get them fixed. What I like with these, very solidly made. O-ring inside here, sturdy thing. Pretty easy to take off. But I think one thing I would like to take out that jacket. I would like to remind people that own Touratech bags that these have to really be tightened well. This is how they come out. Swing there, come off. Easy like that. But when you look here, what they call the puck, when you take this and you tighten on the other side, this is not good. It has to be in the track, little track here. Come into that, and then you tighten. If you don't do that, then it can come very easily loose. I see it all the time. I've actually had a couple of guys on our tours that have lost their bags. And I've been riding with Sega bags like this for years and years, never one come loose. But I'm very good at watching it. I know what I'm doing, how to tighten them up, how to mount them. Just go in here, and they go together there. And then I stick my hand under, get it in the track, and just tighten it nice there. Then I tighten this little nylon knot here tight, just really good and tight. There it's in, it's snug. It's a little loose on this side. I would just put some electrical tape. That's what I've been using before. It's great. And you can also get a reinforcement on the inside, a plate from Touratech. I don't have it here, but if you do some heavy touring. But remember, the more you fill in here, the heavier the bike is going to be, the less handling it is. I actually never use these big bags. I like the smaller bags because you can get less in them, and it forced me to take less with me. There are some protectors here for the reservoirs, for the brake fluid on this side, and for the clutch fluid on this side here. These are really not for protecting against crashing. They would perhaps help a little. Mostly they are for protecting against hampering with, so nobody start fooling around with them. But they are not going to hold up in a good crash. Here they have put on a key operated. Basically this is where you fill oil. So, but they made a really smart one with a little key that go in. Another thing they have put on here is a different gear shifter, a bigger footprint on the side stand, and also a bigger footrest. What I didn't mention though is the bash plate that's underneath here. And as I mentioned, for the Adventure BMW that I have this bash plate. Always carry extra rubber dampers because they are like fuses. If you hit something really hard, they are going to break, and you need something to replace them with on the road. This is a little mud flap. It looks like not too much, but I tell you, when you go with knobby tires off-road, you get this big rooster tail coming and kissing you on the back. So this is not a bad idea. So as you see, this is the cockpit from the 1200 GS, and it's Desierto 3 fairing. While we are talking here, I can mention that you see how it is normally on a bike compared to my 1200 Adventure, where I put on a kit that covers up all of this. I have an accessory outlet here. But on this bike, Touratech have put this bar over, and that's so you can put accessory like a GPS mount, for example, can go on here, and it can swivel up and down. The same goes for here on the head crossbar here. This is also meant to be for GPS. And mind you, this bike is for demo use, so you can show to customers that want to try the different options. I also mentioned about the protectors for the brake reservoir. And I really want to talk a little about the new Sumo from Garmin. It's really a beautiful unit. I use personally the Garmin 376 or the 276, which I like a lot. This new Sumo I'm just learning to use. It's the first trip I'm taking it out on, and I think it has a lot of potential. Not for world travel, I wouldn't use it, but just for around here, view map. You have different nice views you can go into. You have all kind of different options, like a little cockpit. You can even tell it when you fill up, how much you fill up, and then it will build up a database and then find out what your fuel consumption is. You have moving average, overall average, maximum speed, so on, total time, moving time, stopped, odometer, fuel odometer, and so on. And when you hold here, it goes back. You want to find a place. Well, I could go on and on. What I wanted to show about this was that it's a really nice little unit, and the way it's secured on is with a ram mount that comes there, and if you want to take it off, it comes with this little special screw here. So I have to unscrew it, and I heard from Touratech that they sell a ton of these. They're not cheap. They're around $1,000, I think. But that's the whole unit. There you go. They even have a little magnetic thing here. So I can say here, just turn it off. Boop. Off you go. That's the unit. This stays on the bike. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I would hot wire that to the bike. Or like here I use the accessory plug, but that's again mounted directly or connected directly to the battery. And I think that's going to be a wrap for this bike. It was a short introduction to the 1200 GS, what you can do with a 1200 GS, and it's all up to you how you want to dress it out. Find your own way, your own style about it. This might be a better bike for you than the Adventure that is larger and a little more difficult perhaps to handle because of all of the weight of the tank and stuff. So you just have to find out for yourself. This is some ideas you might get from what you're seeing here. So thank you.